this morning. INEC blast PDP governors over a poll manipulation claim. INEC, I think INEC is just making response to some of the claims from the PDP as to the Edo governorship election. Again, the headline says, INEC blast PDP governors over Edo poll manipulation claim. Those are some of the headlines from the Punch newspaper. Other ones are saying majority of 4 million Taraba people living in extreme poverty. That's according to a commissioner there. Then Tinubu may present 2025 budget this week. That from the Senate. Senate will subject Tinubu's tax bill to public scrutiny. Adamimogo says set up demands probe of humanitarian ministries missing 57 billion naira. NGO offers 250 Makoko children free checkups by ESA Partners funds to rehabilitate agric facilities. These are some of the headlines from the Punch newspaper this morning. And through the Vanguard newspaper, or okay, let's say the Daily Post newspaper. Let's take it one at a time. From the Daily Post newspaper, Damagum, continuous postponement of NEC meeting unsettles PDP stakeholders. From the Daily Post newspaper this morning. The headline again says, Damagum, continuous postponement of NEC meeting unsettles PDP stakeholders. Then Rivers chapter of Ohaneze pushes for President General. Abducted Abia Anglican delegate unites with families. Northwest Commission, Middle Belt Hills Senate suspension of board members confirmation. Oyedepo's private jets can't fly from airstrip without clearance, Nigerian government says. So also Nigerian governments must decentralize power to enhance development, that according to Gambari there. Adjust IMF World Bank policies, Gambari again urges Nigerian government. Nigeria remains most viable for aviation market in Africa. That's according to Keyamo there, the Minister of Aviation. And then Senate denies abandoning late Uba. Then NIMED predicts 3-day sunshine, dust, haze. That's from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. And in the Vanguard newspaper, accidental leadership, Obasanjo, Buhari, Tinubu, others unprepared. That's according to someone. I'll tell you who the person is later on in the course of the program. The other headlines from the Vanguard newspaper is saying that Lagos government hails Supreme Court verdict on lottery regulations. And measles infection surges 20% to 10.3 people in 2023. Will address poor navigational system. That according to NAMA. Then through to the Nation newspaper, a couple of headlines are reported there this morning. Nigeria, Brazil pact to boost agric in 774 councils. Nigeria, Brazil pact to boost agric in 774 councils. Buratai, how to achieve effective security architecture for Nigeria. Economy fully on rebound with Tinubu's reform, says Omokri. Petrol price slashed by Dangote refinery tax. National Assembly will pass tax reform bill, says Honorable Jibril. Tinubu to declare open 10th National Industrial Summit in Ilorin. Those are some of the headlines reported in those dailies this morning. Let's have a breather. When we return, we'll take the details. Tazi Rider says loan is an extra burden on government. Nigerians minority caucus wants will improve loan and ensure it is not diverted. Deputy Speaker. A showdown looms in the House of Representatives this week between lawmakers elected on the platform of the ruling party and their opposition counterpart over the $2.2 million, that's $1.77 trillion naira loan request by President Bola Tinubu. This is as the deputy spokesperson of the House, Mr. Philip Agba, said. has declared that the Green Chamber will have no trouble approving external borrowings request from President Bola Tinubu. Deputy spokesman of the Green Chamber, Congressman Philip Agbase, said, it says President Tinubu's loan request was contained in a statement or in a letter transmitted to the Parliament and read by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajudeen Abbas, during Tuesday's plenary. If approved, the President said the loan would fund the 9.7 trillion naira deficit in the 2024 budget. The Senate has already approved the loan request, with the House expected to debate same ahead of its approval later this week. Speaking exclusively to newsmen on Sunday, the Benue lawmaker Udobus, as the deputy chairman, the Committee of Media and Publicity, advanced reason the House will not hesitate to follow the footstep of the Senate in granting the request of the President to borrow externally to fund the budget deficit. You might also want to see details from the Punch newspaper. Again, the headline says, Reps may clash over Tinubu's 2.2 billion assembly. This is saying Tinubu may present 2025 budget this week. That's according to the Senate. The Senate has stated that President Bola Tinubu will likely present the 2025 budget this week, according to the Senate spokesperson Yemi Adamimogo, APC, Ekiti South. The Finance Committee will meet with the ministries, departments, and agencies on Monday. It says, and I quote, the President would likely present the 2025 budget this week or in earnest. The Senate Committee on Finance is already working on the medium-term expenditure framework and would be meeting with the MDAs tomorrow. That's today, actually. The MDAs are expected to defend their 2024 expenditure and also project. The chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Publicity, Senator Yemi Adamimogo, has said the National Assembly will conduct open debate on the President Tinubu's tax reform bill before it for Nigerians' input. Adamimogo said the majority of those criticizing the bill in the media had not seen it and acting based on the belief that any tax was to place a burden on the people, said, and I quote, I don't see anything retrogressive in the tax reform bills. The senator representing Ekiti South Senatorial District spoke to journalists at his Ilawe Ekiti hometown on Saturday evening after the Ilawe Unity Day celebration and launch of 500 million support fund for the commencement of operation of the teaching hospital annex in the community. Criticism had trailed the tax reform bills forwarded to the National Assembly by the presidency. But Adamimogo said, and I quote again, have those criticizing the bill reform seen them? A tax reform bill that is going to exclude low-income earners from paying. Are you going to say that one is retrogressive? A tax reform bill that is going to make sure that there is no double or multiple taxation. I don't see anything that is retrogressive about the tax reform bills. Those were the words of Adamimogo there. You may also see other things that is said as regarding the bill from the Punch newspaper this morning. Senate will subject Tinubu's tax bill to public scrutiny. That's according to Yemi Adamimogo. And to politics now. The Damagum continuous postponement of NEC meeting on Saturday. For another time, the main opposition party on Friday postponed its proposed NEC meeting meant to discuss some issues bedeviling the party and present a substantive national chairman that would take over from Damagun and complete the tenure of the suspended Iocha. You recall that the 98th NEC meeting on April 18, the NEC fixed August 15 to resolve all lingering crisis, but unfortunately it was postponed and rescheduled to October 24 as the plot to oust Damagun thickened. The meeting was further shifted from October 24 to November 28. According to the party, the move was to ensure that it goes into the recently concluded Ondo gubernatorial elections with the unity and strength demanded to unseat the All Progressives Congress APC government in the state. However, the hope to end the crisis rocking the party was again dashed on Friday when the PDP National Security or Secretary, Senator Samuel Anyang, announced the indefinite postponement of the much-anticipated NEC meeting. You can see further details of how the stories or have unfolded on the Daily Post newspaper, coupled with some other newspapers this morning. Damagum continuous postponement of NEC meeting on settles PDP stakeholders. To other matters now, Rivers chapter of the Ohanese pushes for President General. The Rivers State chapter of the Ohanese Indigbo, under the organization of Ogbako Indigbo Nariva, has formally expressed its intention to produce the next President General of the group following the death of Chief Emmanuel Mwanyam. The chapter's demand is based on the rotational leadership structure outlined in Article 11 of the Ohanese Indigbo Constitution, which mandates that leadership positions be rotated among the 7 member states. In a communique released after a stakeholders meeting held in Port Harcourt, Rivers State capital on Sunday, the group reaffirmed Rivers State's rightful place in Ohanese Indigbo and emphasized its long-standing support for other states to producing national officers. You can see further details from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Rivers chapter of Ohanese pushes for President General. Belt Hills Senate suspension of board members confirmation. The Middle Belt Forum MBF Kaduna State chapter says suspending the confirmation of the nominated board members of the Northwest Development Commission will allow President Bola Tinubu to do what is just and fair. The Senate plenary session on 19th November 2024 had suspended the confirmation of the board members of the Northwest Development Commission. The chairman of the Middle Belt Kaduna State chapter, Mr. Luka Biniyat, in a statement on Sunday night stated, and I quote, "We also thank the Senate for not kicking against the suspension of the exercise, probably feeling the tense atmosphere in southern Kaduna and southern Kebbi since the president made those once-sided nominations." It's also a long read you might want to see from the Daily Post this morning. The headline again says, Northwest Commission, Middle Belt Hills Senate suspension of board members confirmation. Nigerian government must decentralize power to enhance development. That's from Gambari. An ex-chief of staff to former President Muhammadu Buhari has called on the federal government to dissolve power to foster growth and development in Nigeria. Gambari stated this at the stated this on Sunday edition of Inside Sources with who said this on the national television. Said a socio-political said it is too much power that is vested in the federal government. It says, and I quote, "We have to decentralize power. The power of the central government has become so much. We have to find a way to decentralize. It is not necessarily by creating 50 more states or 200 more local government, but those things that could be done competently like education, agriculture and others, let the states take charge." Those were the words of Gambari. There said a lot of things, but you might want to see from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. The headline again says Nigerian government must decentralize power to enhance development. That's coming from Ghana. Let's take this story before we wrap it up. Economy fully on rebound with Tinubu's reform, says Omokri. The economy is rebounding because of the reforms by President Bola Tinubu are already yielding fruits, a former presidential aide said. Adamimogo, in a statement yesterday, gave the statistics of the progress being made. He urged critics of the government to be more objective. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Pastor Emmanuel from Eastern Kitty.
Please go ahead.
Exactly what Reverend Father Kuka said, that is the truth. Nigerian leaders are always unprepared for that office. Look at Tinubu himself. You remove subsidy without freezing the refinery. How will it work? Secondly, about the alignment between Adamimogo and the ruling party. It is a disservice to Nigerian people. Without a vibrant opposition, this country will turn to a one-party state, which will lead to dictatorship.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much indeed. And that's where we call it a day. We'll wrap it up on the